Hello, I'm Dr. Sumit Roy here. I'm a researcher into the field of consciousness, and I'm so excited today to explore on the subject matter of consciousness. If you have explored my some of my earlier videos, I've talked about consciousness from Upanishad, and of course, Upanishads they hold some of the very profound studies on consciousness, and we the more we delve, the more we really get into it. Now, today I'm going to speak on consciousness from the some of the views I'm going to give you, and you will find that that it is a subject matter of exploration. It is a subject matter of experience, and it is a subject matter of to do further research to get more clarity on this. It was one existentialist called Soren Kierkegaard who said that life is not a problem to be solved, rather a reality to be experienced. And what is this reality is an age-old problem, and we'll find that many philosophers and psychologists and neuroscientists, and today, of course, artificial intelligence is trying to really pin down what exactly is consciousness, or rather, what is mind and what is flow of thoughts. And the more we delve into this particular subject, the more we get intrigued. But definitely, for the viewers and the researchers into the field of consciousness, this will give you an ample study material and ample points to really further dig this particular subject. Now, it was Isaac Newton who has given us a tremendous amount of thought as a thought leader into the areas of physics, and which is called primarily as a classical physics or Newtonian physics. And Newtonian physics, if you really classify in terms of the world, the objective world or the external world, it talks about strong objectivity, it talks about materialism, and it talks about determinism. And that is fantastic in terms of trying to really understand the very order of the way the external world functions. And of course, that is something which has helped us tremendously in the field of science, and of course, it is going to help us in the future. That is one aspect. The second aspect is our the inner world, the internal world, which is trying to delve. And it gives us a lot of serenity. It is a transcendent aspect of ourself, and that is like the religious experience and the spiritual experiences that some of us, or many of us, or even all of us can pursue. And when you get into that particular domain, we really understand that what is reality and what exactly is the order, whether it is external and internal, how it is made, and rather who made it. So this perennial question keeps coming to us. Now, I'll just get into the three main aspects, then we'll delve into some of the views of consciousness. So one aspect is as a chit, which is the consciousness itself, which is a topic. And then we talk about the sakshin. Sakshin is basically the self-witness, that is a self behind the self, which is the larger self, which is trying to see the self which is operating in this world. And then that is called a vritti. And a vritti is basically the mental modification. And this mental modification is our day-to-day world. So we have highs and lows on our day-to-day life. Sometimes we are sad, sometimes we are glad, sometimes we are bad. And all of us actually goes through that. So it is a perennial phenomena till we exist. We have all these elements. So amidst all this mental modification, so who is that inside us that makes us to watch or see that we have this mental modification? And then we have behind this mental modification, we have this self-witness or sakshin, and behind this sakshin we have, which is still, and it is something like a still lake, and there is no movement, and that is can be, as a metaphorically can be spoken as consciousness, and that is something that we are trying to really get a hold of that. So let's understand from this context that what is this consciousness, and the objective of trying to really understand consciousness is trying to really get much more deeper into our very way of our existence. So the first view of consciousness is self-luminicity. Self-luminicity is something which is self-shining. And this shining is basically which is all encompassing. It is all within us. Only thing is, because of the too much of mental mortification and the breathes, this still lake which is inside us, we don't get a glimpse of this. So it shines forth, and it gets polluted and it gets muddled, and we are not able to really get into that particular domain. So that is self-luminosity. Second view or second aspect, maybe if you really get into one of the domain to understand consciousness beyond self-luminosities, it is non-intentional. Now, this intentionality is coming from one of the discipline of philosophy, which is called phenomenology. Phenomenology is the study about consciousness, again, from the first person, from the subjective point of view. But here, when you talk about intentionality, it is that I am intentional about something, or rather I am conscious about something. So this word about, say, I'm conscious about the tree, I'm conscious about you, I'm conscious about myself, I'm conscious about this video. Now, this is very different from the consciousness per se that actually we are talking about. So when I say that I'm conscious, is it awareness or is it beyond awareness? Because is consciousness a container which contains everything? I think this is one of the most intriguing part of consciousness, that it is not intentional. It is not just awareness, or it is not consciousness about something, but consciousness which is per se, which holds a lot of things. Probably you can see that out of consciousness, the very being came into existence. Out of consciousness, the very matter came into existence. Out of consciousness, the very mind came into existence. Out of consciousness, the very brain came into existence. Now, this is, again, very, very debatable, that what comes first. Is it the brain or the mind or the consciousness? So, and then, of course, there's again a question by a lot of philosophers, even by the scientists, that how can something come from nothing? Is consciousness nothing? And if that is nothing, what is nothing? So, we get into a regressive, infinite regress, that, what came first. So we get into an entanglement. The third view is consciousness is beginningless, and it doesn't have any end. It is Adi, and it is Anant. It is all pervading, and it is all pervasive, and it is all there, and it probably, rather, it existed before Big Bang, or before everything came into being. And how it came, why it came, and I think it's again becoming very, very intriguing, and probably something is there that doesn't make us to really understand the deeper aspect of reality. Because if we know the reality, then I really, it's a really intriguing question, that if we really happen to know the reality, what will happen to human beings? Then I think we'll burst forth, and I think that is a mystery which will be there always, and it is a pursuit of knowledge. And it is a para vidya, as given in the Mundak Upanishad, which again tries to really delve that what is something that I can know that can make me know everything. And that is the pursuit of knowledge, the pursuit of liberation. And it can be very, very individualistic. It can be very, very self-experiential. And people who gets it, they keep mum, they remain into the state of bliss. So the next aspect is consciousness is it is not temporal. It is pervasive. It is inclusive, and it is exclusive. It takes everything into consideration, and it is all encompassing. The next aspect is consciousness and being is equated. Now, when you say being, what is the being? So being is a very important aspect of philosophy, which is an ontological way of trying to really explain the beingness that we say human being. Now, when you say human being, do you also say that animal being? So every matter per se, or even mammal or a reptile or amoeba or a paramecium or a bacteria, they also have their being. And their beings are very different from human being. So when you say being, it is a way of their existence. And they may have a very, very short life, maybe sometime for a few minutes or a few hours. But that creature also has an access being. It also has a phenomenal being. And this being gets very difficult to define. But definitely the very beingness and consciousness has some kind of a I have an equation, and that is a state of no mind. The next aspect is consciousness is non-egological. So when you say ego is all about me and mine and myself, and the consciousness is of course beyond ego, where I doesn't exist, or me doesn't exist, and mine doesn't exist. Everything dissolves, and then we say that ekam sat vipara bahuda vadanti. Ekam sat. That ekam is the crux, that it is the human being and the animal kingdom and the minor particles and the subatomic particles and the trees and every object become one, because you understand that, and that oneness is beyond matter. The matter simply falls, the matter dissolves, and it is that oneness is something which is pervading. It is all encompassing, out of which everything came, because you're all product of the Big Bang. We're all made from the same matter, and before the matter existed, we all were in the same state of being, and that has made to arise the matter itself. So, and hence we have intuition, and we have connection, we have conjectures, and we have so much of intuitive intellect, and everything is connected. So it is egolessness. And lastly, that it is not only just egolessness or being, and consciousness is also of the highest value. It is also of goodness, and it is also of bliss, which is generally being propounded as Sat, Chit, and Ananda. There is existence, consciousness, and bliss. And now this is something which I'm talking. I have given certain words to really describe and given certain expressions about consciousness, but consciousness is deeply personal. It is deeply subjective, and it is through our meditation, and sometimes through conjecturing, and sometimes through stillness, and sometimes through silence, we experience this component of consciousness. So it is deeply within. It is a kind of a lakshana from inside, and we transcend. It is a transcendental aspect of our existence. It is our transcendent being, and few of us, many of us, all of us has the potential to really experience this glimpse of consciousness. And once we actually experience this, I believe that in the modern contemporary world, this aspect will give us to become much more creative, and amidst stress and strain, if we are able to flip your vrittis into being and the highest state of our being, which is consciousness, this can make us our life much more productive, and to stay tuned with our deeper self. Thank you.